There's a lot to this raid. There's a lot going on, and it's a little, a little chaotic at first. So there's going to be a bit of explanation. This is kind of an explain everything ahead of time kind of a raid, as opposed to an explain as you go kind of a raid. But right now, this is just like an entrance way. We can come down here, talk to the face, and click on the golden curtain thing to go into the next area. And don't talk to the NPC or the face. So this is basically the whole raid is this room. There are 4 like little side chambers, but for the most part this is like the whole raid. Hey Blue Skies, welcome. And once we get the action started, there's not really any break, so that's why I gotta kind of explain the whole thing ahead of time. And I hope not to overwhelm you. And I'll be keeping us, I'll be explaining things as we go as well, keeping us all on the same page so everybody knows where they're supposed to be and stuff like that. So let's see. Down in the middle is Quaspiel. He's the main boss. And then we got 4 like mini bosses. There's Gish and Rutus and Urk and Zulkus, and they're like bosses from the quests, from the Sharn quests. And what we're gonna have to do is in a nutshell, we're gonna have to beat down the 4 mini bosses one at a time. And when we take them down, there's gonna be a laser that we have to fire at them. So we have to time it right, because there's only like a 2-3 second kill window where we can take them down and then hit them with the laser. And while that's going on, there's going to be other objectives. There's going to be some side rooms where there's like elementals that need to be killed that are powering up this whole House Caneth forge or whatever this is, some kind of House Caneth device. And there's also puzzles in the corners that we're going to have to worry about too. In this raid, it's not that we have to solve the puzzles. We actually have to keep the puzzles, basically unsolved. If you look in the corners, you'll see like in that back left corner, that would be the northwest, you'll see there's 2 puzzles in that corner. If you look at the back right or the northeast, you'll see there's 1 puzzle there. And if you look over to our right, there's a puzzle over there. And if you look over to the left, you'll see another puzzle there. If you're tuning in on the live stream, I want to make sure you realize, as it says in the title, that we are simulcasting this. So
basically, that's how we want to keep them, like they are there?
No. You can watch main tank perspective, healer perspective, and laser perspective all on one browser window. So periodically throughout the raid, like every couple of minutes, those like mechanical beetle things are going to be sent to like solve the puzzles, or basically to like light them up. And we'll have to kill those constructs and like undo any changes or any any bad changes they may have made. Basically with the puzzles, like let's say let's look over here, for those that are here learning, look over here to the one in the left corner. You'll see that like there's like 4 nodes, there's 2 on each side, and they're like just little circle things. And then there's like a rune down at the center sticking out at the bottom, and then in sort of the main part of the puzzle in the middle, there's 3 runes, and they're lit up right now. It's those 3 runes like that are in the middle. Any runes like in the main part of the puzzle, if those are lit up, that's bad. We want to make sure that those are not lit. The little nodes on the side don't matter, and the one at the bottom doesn't matter. It's just the ones in the middle. If any of those are lit on any of the puzzles, not now, but once we get the action started, it's going to start an invisible timer. We have 5 minutes. There's a 5-minute timer that counts down if any of those are lit, and if it reaches 0, we fail. And the timer, there's an indication if you look at the door across from us. straight across. There's a big, big door, and it's got like 4 spiral bands. And every minute that that timer's counting down, one of those bands will disappear. So if you start seeing bands disappear off the door, then, you know, there's a problem. Somebody, you know, a puzzle was solved and nobody noticed it to unsolve it. But another way that you can sort of quickly see if any of the puzzles need to be unsolved is if you look in the back right corner, you'll see there's a blue barrier like halfway up the wall. There's a face there, and underneath that barrier and face, there are runes near the floor. Right now, there's 5 of them, and they're all lit up. If any of those are lit up, that will tell you that the timer's counting down, and somewhere there's a rune lit up on the puzzle, on a puzzle. So you would want to look around and unlight those runes. Now these puzzles.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's lighting these puzzles?
That's a good question, Nimbin. I'll get to that later. Nimbin already knows the answer to that question. Maybe he's prompting me. I don't know. But these puzzles are like a big circuit, and they actually connect to each other. So those nodes that are on the side, you know, those little mini circles, those actually go to the adjacent puzzles. So like if the light goes into one of those little node circles, it comes out of the little node circle on the adjacent puzzle down, you know, across the way, on both sides. So if you ever need to to direct the light somewhere, which you do need to, because over here, let's see, in the, or no, I guess it's that back left corner. That's where the laser is. In the back left corner, in the north,
the 2 puzzles.
The northwest, yeah, where the 2 puzzles are. Those are the puzzles that will power up the laser. And the way that you make sure the laser has power is by making sure the 2 runes at the very bottom are lit. And those runes, the ones at the bottom, don't matter for purposes of that invisible timer. It's the runes in the middle that need to stay unlit. But the runes at the bottom need to stay lit. And where these puzzles are getting powered from are the elemental chambers that are in the side. If you've done Lord of Blades before, and you've done that optional at the end where there's like 4 elemental chambers and you kill a big elemental, it's kind of like that. But if you haven't, that's okay. There's these 4 rooms. There's a fire elemental, a big air elemental, a big earth elemental, and a water elemental that are like powering this whole place. And later on in the raid, we're going to go into those chambers, 3 people kind of at random will, and they will, you know, they'll fight the elemental. Those are the batteries. Like if you look in the upper right-hand corner, in the quest box, it says disable the elemental batteries. That's referring to the elementals in those 4 chambers. But we're going to have a couple people assigned to doing the puzzles. So not everybody really has to worry about that. I'm just letting you know how it works. Now when we first get in...
Once that timer starts, if, like say it goes on for a minute and you find it and then you turn it, does it reset or does it just stop?
It
or
just
pause,
stops.
I should say.
So it's a cumulative timer. Okay. It's not hard to, you know, that's never been an issue. Like we've never failed it because time ran out. Although we have gotten down to like none of those spiral bands left on the door. So you really have to be not paying attention for kind of a long time to fail this raid due to the time running out. But it's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
It's like
So
the Portal Keepers in Shroud.
Yes, except Portal Keepers, yeah, they only need to be out for like a minute, and then it's over. But yeah, kind of a similar timing mechanism. So, there's going to be 2 tanks. There's going to be a main tank, and the main tank is going to be holding the, you know, the mini boss that we're working on. You know, there's 4 mini bosses, and the main boss isn't active right away. Quaspiel in the center. It's just the 4, you know, Rudis, Gish, Urk, and Zalkis. So the main tank will be holding the guy that we're working on, that the party's DPSing, because we're going to kill him one at a time. And then there's going to be an off tank This is basically going to pull everything else and hold it off to the side, you know, and then the party will work on them one by one. We're going to kill them in a certain order. And, you know, I don't know what the other kids are doing, but we'd like to kill Rutus first. I think that's probably pretty common. Rudis is the Minotaur off to the left there, and he's got a move that is really devastating. He's going to jump in the air, and when he ground pounds, when he lands, he's going to do like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 damage to anybody that's even remotely close to him. You don't even have to be very close to him. Like, it's a really big AoE. Much, much bigger than a standard sort of burst AoE. So, if you were kind of squishy, you might want to make sure that you are not anywhere near him. You know, range him from afar or something. But basically, when he jumps, you need to be in the air when he lands. That's how you avoid getting hit by his ground pound. You need to be and you'll hear us say, you know, jump, and you need to jump, and you got to be on it, because if you don't, you're going to be dead. But we're just doing normal, so there's no time, or there's no death timer on normal. So we're going to be prepping Rudis, and then the laser, you can see there's a laser straight out, like it's attached to the ceiling. It's got a big purple crystal at its tip. And Nimbind is going to be controlling the laser, and there's actually controls for the laser over there in the back left where those two puzzles are. On the other side of that beam in the corner, there's a control panel. And the control panel just has like, there's a speaking stone and there's 5 buttons. The buttons are like up, down, left, right, and fire. And so, you know, you move the laser and then hit the fire button to fire. Just like the laser in the Titan raid, if you've done that raid. So basically we need, you know, the laser operator is going to move the laser over to above the guy we're working on. In this case, you know, Rutus is going to be first. We're going to kill Rutus. As soon as Rutus goes down, the laser operator needs to fire the laser. If we do that, you know, properly, then Rutus dies and we just move on to the next boss. But there's a really, really shitty short window to kill him with the laser, and sometimes, you know, you fire it right away and it still doesn't, you know, it still doesn't work, and you got to beat him down again. Do the minibuses stay on their platforms? No, they can move all around. That's why you got to have 2 different tanks to keep them under control, because if those guys are just running around all over the place, it can get pretty ugly. Because like I said, Rudis's ground pound, you know, he can knock out people real quick. And then Gish has a whirlwind attack that is also going to just, you know, obliterate squishy folks. So if Gish is running wild, then, you know, that gets pretty ugly fast. So one at a time, we're going to be doing Rudis first, followed by Gish, and we do Gish next because he's kind of like the next biggest threat. Followed by Urk, and then Zalkis. Urk's pretty devastating too. Urk has the Javelin, like if you've done Just Business, he's got that Javelin, that like magical Javelin he throws, and it does like 1,000 damage or more, you know, on higher difficulties. And
I got a question.
what's your question, Nimin?
How do you know when you're gonna get hit by the javelin?
That is a really good question. You're gonna have like purple target circles around you, and that's, you know, that you're the target. And if you're the target and you're not the person that's assigned to control Urk, we're gonna have somebody assigned to control Urk, then you need to like run your ass off. Preferably try to put something between you and that javelin, maybe like something like one of those pillars. In fact, that's what the Urk person's going to do. In this case, we're going to have
She's got
Crazy Legs grab Urk's aggro, and he's just going to like stand behind a pillar and keep Urk's aggro, and Urk won't be able to hit him with those javelins because he's going to have a pillar there. But Urk's going to move around. He's going to be flying around on his little hover jet. You know, the little, what do you call it? Sky sleds? He's going to be moving all around, so the person who's controlling Urk's aggro needs to keep an eye on Urk and make sure that, you know, they're always keeping, something between, the pillar between Urk and them. Otherwise, you're going to get hit. If Urk is running wild, then what's going to happen is he's just going to one by one throw his javelin at a random party member and kill them. And he's going to target somebody else and kill them. And target somebody else and kill them. Most people cannot survive his javelin unless you have a lot of hit points. So it's important to have somebody control Urk. So that's kind of like 3 tanks, but one, the Urk tank is like kind of like a range tank. So we're going to beat him down one at a time. First Rudis, then Gish, then Urk, and then Zalkis. And while that's going on, at first somebody's going to be controlling Urk. There's going to be an off tank holding the mobs that we're not, besides Urk, they're going to be controlling Gish and Zalkis, Zagro. After we beat down the first 2 bosses, a horned devil, the emissary, is going to appear along with a bunch of bearded devils. We're going to have to deal with them. And then after we kill the first 2 bosses and deal with the emissary, that's when we're going to start sending people into the elemental chambers. The way that you access the elemental chambers is if you look off like to the left, you'll see there's like a red ring with like a teleport pad in the middle. And if you look straight down over to the left, there's like a green ring with a teleport pad. If you look over to the right, there's a blue ring with a teleport pad, and straight down to the right, there's a white ring with a teleport pad. Those go into the various elemental chambers. White for air, blue for water, green for earth, and red for fire. Only the people that have like the essence of those corresponding elements can go into those chambers, and they're sort of assigned at random. Kinda, sorta. And the way that that essence is distributed is when you kill one of the bosses, the laser like takes on their essence or whatever, corresponding to their elemental. And then you have to fire off the laser, the energy, the elemental energy off the laser onto one of the pads, and then like 3 people basically at random are going to get that elemental essence. Now, I don't know, exactly how it works, but it seems to be like if you have somebody standing on the pad where you fire the laser, they seem to get it. So it's kind of like a good idea to send somebody, or to have somebody with like good DPS and survivability to be standing there. But the other 2 are kind of at random. So I'm not really sure about how that works. The point is, after you kill the boss, the laser takes on its energy, and then you need to fire that energy off, which distributes the aura, or the elemental essence, whatever you want to call it, to 3 people, more or less at random. But we do not want to I don't want to send anybody into the elemental chambers until we kill 2 bosses and the emissary is out of the way. And that's a little bit of a change. We used to go in there after each boss was dead, but if you wait until after the emissary is dead, it keeps the entire party together until things are a little bit more calm. Once Rudis is out of the way, once Gish is out of the way, and once the emissary is out of the way, things are a lot more under control. For purposes of normal difficulty, not a big deal, but we're going to go ahead and do it that way anyways. So we're going to kill the bosses one by one until all 4 are dead. And we're going to do all 4 of after the first 2 are dead and the emissary is gone, then we're going to start sending people into elemental chambers. Once all 4 bosses are dead and all 4 elementals are killed, then Quaspiel in the center is going to activate. He's going to raise all 4 of the mini-bosses. We're going to have to beat them all down again, except for this time we don't have to kill them with the laser. Having a main tank hold them one at a time, beat them down one at a time, and ultimately kill Quaspiel. I know that was a lot. I'm going to be talking us through it the whole time. But does anybody have any questions before we get started? I'm gonna start typing in jobs. The emissary is a horned devil, and you don't see him yet, but he will appear after the first two bosses are killed. And we can kill the bosses in any order. It's just that we choose to do Rudis first because he's a giant pain in the ass, followed by Gish, who is a slightly less giant pain in the ass, followed by Urk, who's a slightly even less pain in the ass, and Zulkis is not that big of a deal, I guess. He's just a small pain in the ass. Zentarius, can I put you on constructs and unpuzzling on that tune? Okay. Scree, I'm going to put you on constructs and unpuzzlers too. Hopefully that'll keep you away from the mini bosses. Those constructs are not that tough. They kill pretty easily. But you still got to be aware of where Rudis is. Like, you know, you might be killing some constructs over in a corner that's kind of near him, and you might get whacked.
Do the
thank you.
constructs, do they spawn like all at once, or is it one at a time at random?
All at once.
Okay.
Yep.
One on each corner?
One at each puzzle.
One in each puzzle.
Okay.
Okay, Bolo is going to be our main tank. Their off tank is going to be Mona. So Bolo will go in and grab Rudis right away. Mona will go in and grab everything else except for Urk, which Crazy Legs will get. Crazy Legs is a ranged, you know, he's ranged, so as Urk's flying around on his hoverboard, you know, Crazy Legs can just shoot at him, grab his aggro, and then go hide behind a pillar. On constructs and unpuzzling is going to be Zentarius and Scree. Again, you want to just make sure to turn the puzzles so that none of the runes in the center of the puzzle are lit. It's okay for the bottom rune to be lit, the one that's sticking out at the bottom, and it's okay for the 4 side nodes to be lit, the 2 on the left and the 2 on the right. But it's just the runes in the middle have to stay unlit. The kill order is Rutus, Gish, Urk, and then Zulkis for the first round. We'll slightly change it up for the second round, and then on laser is going to be Nimbin. Let's go ahead and get some buffs, and if anybody has any final questions before we get started, the action doesn't stop once we step in. Yes, Bolo will always be tanking the one we want to work on. Constructs are those guys back there. See the little constructor beetles? And they, what they do is they will be solved. They are sent here to solve the puzzle, and we want to keep the puzzles unsolved.
Or deadly.
Devotional, take deadly, please.
I'll just go with deadly everywhere.
Also, we'll want to send the 3 tanks in, you know, the Urk and then the main tank and the off tank, a few seconds before the rest of us, so they can go in, grab the aggro. If we all just jump in all at once, then, you know, the bosses might aggro on the wrong people. And it just makes it a little more organized if we send the 3 tanks in a few seconds ahead of everybody else. Screw, I think everybody's just saying whether or not they wanted deadly.
all done, boss.
Yes, the constructs do respawn every couple of minutes or so. DR to worry about, I'm not sure, but I know Rudis takes hella damage from what, negative energy?
Yeah, negative.
Yes.
I mean, like, crazy amounts of damage, like 4 times or something. Yep, so if there's no constructs to kill, you can definitely help with Rudis. But make sure you don't get anywhere near him. Okay, guys. Here we go.
Remember, first ones are tanks. We'll let you know when to come in.
The 3 tanks, go ahead. Everybody else, go ahead. I will be healing. Watch for Rudis' jumping. Remember, when he jumps, you gotta jump. You gotta be off the ground when he lands. Go ahead and work on Rudis, unless you have a different job. Just step through the detour.
Jump.
Nimbin, are you ready on the laser?
Yeah. Did you tell him not to mess with my puzzle?
No. Don't mess with the puzzle that
Jump.
Nimbin's at.
Yeah, these puzzles are under my jurisdiction.
Those
All
control
right,
the
it's in
laser.
position.
They power up the laser. Go ahead and take down Rudis. The laser is above him. You have 6 newbies in here. Jump. Fire.
Jump.
The strapping young man on the pad.
Good job. Alright, now we're going to work on Gish. DPS on Gish. Our off tank is just controlling Zulkus, and our Urk tank is still controlling Urk.
I just shot the pad and it didn't release the green stuff. I think you actually need someone on the pad now.
Oh, okay. Stop on Gish, please. Stop on Gish. All stop on Gish. We need somebody with some dips to get on that pad. To get on the pad over here that I'm jumping up and down on. Great. Go ahead and fire it off. That's releasing the green energy, but don't go into the elemental chamber. 3 people will get the little green circle around them, but don't go anywhere. Stay right here. Keep on working on Gish. The laser's back over him. We're going to go ahead and take down Gish. Nimbin's over there working the laser. Get ready. Fire.
So if we've got the green aura, we do not want to...
Don't go in yet. I want to keep the
Be
whole
anywhere
party
near.
together. Some groups might send you in right away, but we started doing it this way because it keeps the whole party together until things get under more control. And so we get Gish and Rudis out of the way, and then we kill the emissary that's going to be spawning any second, like right here where I'm jumping up and down. The emissary is going to be right here. He's a horned devil like Sulamati's. We're just going to kill him. There's going to be a bunch of bearded devils spawning too. We're going to kill that stuff. And then things will be a lot more calm. Then we can start sending people into the chambers. When you go into...
Somebody Skeletal Knight is attacking Zelkus.
Get rid of the Skeletal Knight, please. Generally, summons are a bad idea in raids. Sometimes they're okay. But in this raid, I would not recommend them. Go ahead and kill all the trash.
Contracts.
So Bolo can get the emissary.
Every time he's in Tim, he teleports.
Constructs. We do have a rune lit. Lots of
Oh.
runes lit.
Alright, I think we're
Not
ready
now.
for the blue stuff, aren't we?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and fire the blue stuff off.
I need someone to be on the pad.
Someone with some dips, get on that pad over here where I'm jumping up and down. This is
If we
very
have the green
important.
one,
And the
do we
green
want
people can start going
do we want to
green.
get on?
I don't think so. But that's okay, you know, we can do this one at a time. We might as well take it slow. You know what I'm saying? So basically, everybody... I'm going to go ahead and go into green with X-Slayer and Devotion.
Oh, someone...
What
someone
happened?
unpowered my laser.
Okay. So to be clear, I want everybody to come over here to the north west corner where I'm jumping up and down. So we want, in order for the laser to be powered up, in order for the laser to be powered and be able to be operable, the bottom runes, all the way here at the center at the bottom, need to be lit. You can see that one's lit, and this one over here needs to be lit. If, you know, people are undoing those, then the laser can't fire, can't be moved, or anything like that. So basically, like, the person who's doing the laser can worry about these two puzzles. Alright, let's see. Let's go into the green elemental chamber. Everybody who's got green, go ahead and go into the green elemental chamber. Now, you gotta watch out for the circles. All the elementals do circles. And just like every frickin' mob in the game now, there's a circle and 3 seconds later it explodes. You need to stay out of that circle. Otherwise, you're going to take massive damage. Go ahead and attack that elemental. I'll keep you guys healed.
Everyone with blue should be heading to blue, maybe? Like, unless
have-
you're an arc tank.
Oh, wow, Earth's going down quick. Nice DPS.
Start prepping Urk, but we'll take Urk down when Voodoo's out.
Gotcha.
Great job, Earth is done. Watch out for the circle on the portal. Ooh, X-Slayer, you barely survived it. It's pretty hard even on normal, huh, buddy? Yeah, if you got blue, go ahead into the blue chamber now.
Is there anyone in blue?
One just walked in.
Okay, Mona and
I'm
someone
in now.
else.
Last week's season now.
Go ahead and move the laser to Urk. Try to take down Urk.
Crashes up.
Don't kill Urk quite yet. Actually, wait till he moves. This is taking too long.
Yeah, it's...
Kill this trash, please. Everybody kill the trash. We got constructs. Alright, get that laser on Urk. Let's take down Urk right now. The laser is over him. Take down Urk. Get ready. Fire. Great. Now that Urk's been killed, notice that the tip of the laser is white. And Nimbin's going to fire off the white energy, which is to the air elemental chamber. 3 people get that. Go to the air elemental chamber. So, probably not Bolo Grub. But, Tendrick. Go ahead and go into the white. There you go. And now we're going to do Zulkus. Zulkus's thing is he's, you know, going to detour all over the place. But if you melee him, he seems to detour kind of right away. So you really just want to range him down. Just start ranging down Zulkus. And go ahead and move the laser over him, please. Melees can box him in, though. That can be helpful. If you're a melee, you can get up there and try to keep him from moving around. I don't
Am I
think...
over him?
He's kind of in
well.
between right now. Let's try to move him over to this pad, Gijo. Don't kill Zalkus yet, guys. He'll follow you if you move away enough. I'd feel a lot better if he was moved a little bit away from where he was. There you go. He's still a little... There you go. Get right there. That should be close enough. Go ahead and range down Zalkus. Don't melee him. Just range him only. Fire. Hopefully he was close enough.
Yep.
Nice. You notice that that the laser didn't, you know, it was close enough. You don't have to be exactly under the laser as long as you're fairly close. So it was actually a pretty good example to show for purposes of this teaching raid.
Well, there's also like a little red parameter. If you look right in this area of the floor, it's a little bit more red tint right here. That kind of shows you the area of the grid. When you move it up a space and down a space, it moves 2 spaces. Think of it as a 3 width grid that has a lot of spaces in those 3. So going side to side, it moves 1 space, but going up and down, it moves this 2 space.
We got trash, devils.
Fire's already down.
Okay, all the elemental chambers are done. Now the Quaspiel is going to resurrect the 4 mini-bosses. What we're going to want to do is kill Urk instantly. Urk is not airborne right away, and with decent DPS, you can kill him before he gets airborne. So Urk is going to be where I'm jumping up and down here. We want all DPS on Urk instantly. Bolo will grab Rudis, and Mona will grab Gish and Zalkus, but everybody else should be killing Urk instantly.
Since all the elementals are done, the battery sources for each puzzle is gone, so the constructs don't matter from here
That's
on
a
out.
really good point. Constructs don't matter at this point. Okay, work on Rudis next. Jump.
Jump.
I was getting chased by Caspil.
Actually, I want everybody. Don't kill Rudis yet, guys. Don't kill Rudis. I want everybody in on him. Everybody who's here signed up to learn this raid, I want you to get next to him and don't jump. I want you to feel what he feels like when his ground pound hits. Don't jump. Just let him hit you. It's okay if you die. We'll raise you. I just wanted you to see how hard he hits, and that's normal. Looks like it hit Tendrick for about 1,300.
Maybe MRR affects it because I only got hit for 670
Okay.
for PR.
See, we don't have to worry about the laser now. Now we can do Gish. They don't have to be in a certain spot. The laser doesn't matter anymore.
Is
The
Urk
laser
still
can't
alive?
matter anymore. There's no.
Rudis is dead. We can work on Gish next.
No, Urk.
Urk is...
Thought
We
someone
killed
had
him
targeted.
Oh,
instantly.
he's dead.
We killed him first thing before he got airborne.
Yeah, I saw someone had what looked like a target.
By the way, Nimbin hosts this as a public raid every, what, Sunday? Saturday?
Saturday.
Every Saturday afternoon as a public raid. Okay, now we want to kill Zalkus next. Melees can start working on Quaspiel, just don't kill him until Zalkus is dead. Actually, Quaspiel will go away when he's at like 25%. Okay, Zalkus is dead. Quaspiel, take him down, and then we win. Congratulations for those of you who it's your first. Congratulations on your first Project Nemesis. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, it is. It's a lot. There's a lot going on in this raid. This is not really like an entry-level raid. But
Really, the complex part is the puzzle mechanics. If you really think about it.
we had, I think, 6 first-timers here signed up to learn this, and 6 people who are experienced with this, and I felt like it went really smoothly. When we do this on hard, because my guildies are experienced with all the mechanics, we'll do it on hard. Sometimes we can knock it out in like about 12 minutes, and it could be done even faster than that. So, if people know what they're doing, it can be really smooth. But if people, if it's disorganized and you got Rudis running free, you got Urk running free, you got Gish running free, they can wipe people out in seconds. Let's see, Lacertus, you were the first one to sign up for the teaching raid, so you can open the chest. Our public raid schedule, by the way, is posted in the Sarlona forum.